According to the FAI, the organization that governs air sports, human space flight, and things like that, they say our atmosphere actually goes past the moon. Now, I want to point out that when this news first dropped, all the flat earthers jumped on it, claiming the moon has been in this flat earth dome all along. But let me break it down. Previously, it was believed that space was basically everything that existed outside of the Kármán line, which is about 100 kilometers above mean sea level. And the reason being is because at these heights, the atmosphere becomes thin, too thin for like airplanes to stay in flight without reaching orbital velocity. The science of flight requires a certain amount of atmospheric pressure, basically, to achieve lift and thrust and so on and so on. And with this fact, there's still heavy debate as to where space actually begins. So let me give some layers to it, basically. But before I do that, I have to note that like NASA and the Air Force, they still consider, anyone who goes past 80 kilometers to be an astronaut. They consider them to basically have been in space. All right, but the first layer we have is the troposphere. And that basically includes like gases that we need for breathing, like nitrogen, oxygen, things like that. The next layer is the stratosphere. It's where like large airplanes fly because there's less air molecules, making flying less turbulent, more fuel efficient. And then we have the Mesosphere. And this is actually like the highest point that clouds can actually form. It's also where most space debris burns up. Then we got the Thermosphere. And this is where like the infamous Kármán line I talked about is. Okay? It's where the International Space Station orbits. And it's where people can experience weightlessness. And then there's the Exosphere. This is like the final layer between Earth and everything else that's out there. And this is basically made up of spaced out helium and hydrogen atoms. By the way, fun fact, hydrogen and helium are actually the two most abundant elements in the entire universe that we know of right now. Now, it was previously thought that this exosphere spread about 200,000 kilometers away from Earth. All right. Now, and this is where the new discovery basically comes in, okay? Because basically in this exosphere, like when gases in the exosphere reflect with the sun's UV rays, it creates a glow called the Geo Corona, okay? And in this glow is where they kind of detect how far that atmosphere expands. But the new discovery is basically that this glow, this Geo Corona, reflecting with these gases in the exosphere, has been detected past the moon, basically. Actually, as far as 630,000 kilometers. Okay? And that's as far as it's believed to stretch. So, hence, the new discovery drop. The moon is in the Earth's atmosphere. All the flat earthers go crazy. Oh my God, they've been lying to us. Now, it's interesting to point out, though, the device they use to actually measure this is called the Solar Wind Anisotropies Instrument, aka SWAN. Now, I'm going to put the spelling on the screen because a couple of words in there, well, one word in there is kind of probably hard to pronounce. But this is where we are. And this is what the current information that we have until science gives us some new information. All interesting stuff for my nerds out there. Like to hear what everybody thinks, so like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.